On our visit to Skagway, Alaska, I believe we set a personal record for the most number of boats and other methods of transportation used in one day. Due to recent rock slides and damage to the pier, larger ships like the Ovation of the Seas are forced to use tenders to disembark the guests. The pier in the lower right hand of this picture is the White Pass Railroad dock that is traditionally used by larger cruise ships and the White Pass Railroad Company. That pier has experienced several rock slides this year and is currently closed due to safety concerns. However, the center pier is currently open to smaller cruise ships as well as cargo ships. Here is a picture of the larger area currently experiencing periodic rock slides. One rock slide occurred only 5 days prior to our visit. So here was our first method and first boat of the day, the cruise ship Ovation of the Seas. And as you saw just a moment ago, we boarded a tender for our second method of transport to go ashore in Skagway. Once ashore, we then boarded our third boat of the day, this ferry, which took us from Skagway down to Haines, Alaska. The ferry ride to Haines is about 20 miles and takes about 40 to 45 minutes. We did manage to catch a glimpse of a few seals resting on a rock nearby. Once we arrived in Haines, it's a very quick walk up the pier to get ashore. The excursion company had a school bus waiting for us for our fourth method of transportation that day. The guides then gave us a quick tour around town, showing us the remains of old Fort Seward. Our guides informed us that this ship anchored out in the bay was very unusual and was the current talk of the town. This fence in the river serves as a funnel to force the salmon to go through the gates. The Fish and Wildlife Department then employs people to sit there and count the salmon as they pass. After about a 5-mile bus ride, we arrived at our destination, Chilkat Lake. And as you can see, the scenery of the lake did not disappoint. After a safety briefing and outfitting us with the proper gear, we were off to the kayaks. The excursion company pretty much assumes that you have no idea what you're doing in a kayak, which is probably best. We had 3 guides to shepherd us around the lake. My wife and I did have difficulty controlling our kayak at times. We kept wanting to pull to the right, not sure why. It did lead to this one minor collision. Luckily, no damage to the kayaks and no need for the life vests. If you're considering booking a kayaking excursion on your Alaska cruise, but you're not sure if you can physically do it, I will say that the excursion company, at least in our trip, did take several breaks and allow for some rest. I would say anyone of at least average physical condition will be fine. As complete rookies to the kayaking experience, we found that Chilkat Lake was a great place for us to have our first experience in a kayak. There was very little current and no wind this day. After completing our kayaking, we then had a quick picnic lunch on the beach back in town. Once we returned to Skagway, we had some time to explore the town, do a little shopping, and have a beer at a local brewery. Because our kayak experience took most of the day, we did not have time to ride the White Pass Railroad. However, that just gives us a good reason to return to Skagway. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Be on the lookout for other videos on our trip through Alaska as well as other adventures.